Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Albuquerque, New Mexico, as the desert rivalry shifts to the land of enchantment tonight. Following Phoenix Rising's 3-0 win in the Valley almost 2 months ago, New Mexico United return home to the lab with a chance to respond in Prinx Tire's USL Cup group stage play. Welcome in to Rio Grande Credit Union Field at Isotopes Park. My name is Tyler Ortega, joined as always by Chris Hurst. And Chris, USL Cup group stage play is here. You've got two teams that are sitting in the middle of this group. Big result coming up tonight for either side.
Yeah, it's going to be a big game, and two teams who throughout the league season, throughout the entire season, are struggling to find any kind of consistency at all. But really, it's a win is a must tonight, and both teams probably, whoever does win, still need some help as well.
Well, let's go ahead and jump into things with a look at our players to watch, brought to you by Toyota, Chris. And we'll start off with the black and yellow. Number 10, it's the former Phoenix Rising man, the Scotsman, Greg Hurst.
Yeah, forwards are judged on goals scored, and Greg Hurst brings so much more than that. His work rate, he leads the line so well. His only 2 goals this season, both came in the same game against El Paso all the way back on May 6th. But you know what they say about goals are like London buses, and Hurst will be hoping that another one turns up tonight.
We'll go ahead and take a look now at our player to watch from Phoenix Rising. And full disclosure,
was like the Great Migration, a magical dance phenomenon.
Felt like fireflies.
Music and lights and worms.
I have never seen something like that.
Phenomenally.
Ding dong.
Mountain dude?
The mountain is calling.
Give me a mountain, lots to do. Give me a dream. Give me something simple. All I need is sunshine and that cool, refreshing mountain dew. Yeah, give me the sunshine. Give me the dew.
welcome back here to the lab in Albuquerque. It is Pride on the Pitch night, and kickoff just moments away between New Mexico United and Phoenix Rising FC. Chris, let's take a look at our starting lineups this evening, brought to you by Barcode on the screen and enter today. Well, thank you for joining us this evening, whether you're watching on ESPN Plus around the state of New Mexico on New Mexico 50, or if you're joining us from the Valley on AZ Family Sports in Phoenix. It is a warm evening here at the lab. Wind's starting to pick up a little bit here around kickoff, Chris, but otherwise it's a pretty beautiful evening.
It is a beautiful evening, and I'm sure anyone who is watching in Phoenix is not thinking that this is warm. I think we're in the low 90s, so it's compared to where these guys have come from, nothing really. But yeah, for us, it's summer has certainly arrived in New Mexico.
As we mentioned, this is the 19th meeting all-time between these two sides. It is Phoenix Rising that holds the edge all-time. 8 victories for Phoenix, 6 for New Mexico. 4 draws between these two, and that is in all competitions. It spans everything from USL Championship, regular season, playoffs. They've met in the Open Cup, as well as the USL Cup now. This is Zico Bailey looking to find Dayon Harris just 30 seconds into this one. And Chris, I think it's safe to say we're going to see New Mexico pressing and attacking this youthful Phoenix Rising lineup early.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely right. They're going to really test to see if there's any kind of cohesion between the players. And you know, we see the Phoenix Rising captain there, boy, who's just barking orders from the back there as well, trying to get things organised and trying to get a foothold in the game early on here.
Bob Marboy, team captain, played his college soccer at Clemson, led the Tigers to a national championship. Again, goes out to Dayon Harris. Harris picked up by Noah Cross, the 17-year-old. Bailey finds Reed Steven. Reed Steven dials one up from distance and skies it onto the concourse. So Phoenix, here over the opening 90 seconds, really just hunkering down. You said it, Chris. Pop Marboy, one of the veterans here tonight. Senegalese captain. It's his 3rd season with Phoenix Rising. On here, this is Gunnar. He can cause some trouble. Deflection there from Malik Howell, goes out for a goal kick. Gunnar Studenhoff caused some problems last weekend against Sacramento in league play, hit the post. I gotta say, the way that he and Isan Sako were getting on, pretty surprised not to see Sako in the lineup this evening, especially considering the damage he did against New Mexico the last time these two teams played. So he bagged a brace. This one's going to go all the way back to Odunze. Chituru Odunze, native of Raleigh, North Carolina. Odunze is pressed, and Valentin Noel able to get a foot on that one. I'd be shocked if we saw Odunze take his time like that any more this evening. The hustle there from the Frenchman. A little bit of a wake-up. Phoenix pinned deep in their own 3rd here. New Mexico almost forcing a turnover, and eventually they do. Here's Reed Steven. Jabang plays the cross in, and Odunze able to pounce on that ball just in front of Dayon Harris.
Yeah, it's just wave after wave of attack here, but here's Phoenix Rising. Studenhoff trying to create some kind of counter-attack there, but looks like he may be feeding off scraps today. New Mexico United, blood in the water and just pressing and pressing and pressing and not allowing Phoenix Rising to get out at all. And for the longest time there, we're really struggling to even get out of their own 18-yard box.
Studenhoff, a Cayman Islands international, 6 caps for his country. He scored twice. Spent some time with Huntsville City FC and MLS Next Pro last season. Bagged 5 goals in 23 appearances. Abeyta plays this ball long. Or excuse me, that was Gomez. Be out for Chris Shake's goal kick. Well, the last time these two teams did battle here in the 505 went the way of Phoenix Rising. It was a 2-1 victory for the visitors. Hope Aveyevu opened up the scoring 13 minutes in, which was then followed up by an Alex Tambakis red card early in the second half. Chris Shakes comes in and Phoenix double their lead. Mackenzie Gaines added one on late, but it was all for naught. Here's Greg Hurst. He's got Jabang to his left, and a huge challenge. Timely challenge, that is. That's a look at the gaffer, Dennis Sanchez. Looking to pick up the 41st win of his managerial career this evening. Career spanning brief stint at Charleston, Las Vegas Lights, and of course here with New Mexico over the past season and a half. Luke Biasi was the late insertion into the starting lineup, Chris, following that late scratch for Hope Aveyevu. Biasi, the veteran, out there for Phoenix this evening, 26 years old. He's a league champion last year with Pittsburgh Riverhounds. He's a key role in that Pittsburgh defense that did not allow a goal during the entire 2025 playoff run. Ball goes in, and it's a dangerous header there from Jackson Gayden.
Yeah, I think his heart probably sank a little bit there when he just got his head to it and got the slightest of touch where that could have easily have ended up in the back of the net.
That's Pamodu Ka, in charge of, as we mentioned, a very youthful side this evening. Pamodu Ka won the Coach of the Week award in Week 13. Harris plays the cross in, Greg Hurst, and it just goes wide. The Scotsman almost finding the back of the net against his former club.
Yeah, it was really well worked there by New Mexico United. Short corner routine, and interestingly, Phoenix Rising left 2 guys up on the halfway line. New Mexico United only 2 defenders as well, so normally the defensive team tries to go +1, but taking a little risk there, New Mexico, to get equal numbers in the box as well, so any kind of counter-attack, could have spelled trouble.
Studenhoff battling there with Kip Keller. It's going to be a physical battle to keep an eye on all evening. Great touch there from Dayon Harris, and he's off to the races. He's got support. Harris, cross goes in. Odunze gets a hand to it. Ball's here. Malik Howell goes back to Keller, and New Mexico will reset.
Just a little inexperience there from Cross, the young defender, the young right back there, and great touch by Harris.
Dunze again, this time pressure coming from Usman Jabang. It's Jamison Ping. Ball's going to go out for a New Mexico throw. Let's look at the current conditions here at the lab. Eventually the foul called. Niall Reed-Steven throwing his hands up. And that's going to bring up our first TLC free kick of the evening. Pretty unique opportunity here, Chris, for New Mexico. And for the fans that have been following this rivalry since its inception in 2019, there's an awful lot like the matchup from a few years ago that was postponed by a couple days when Phoenix had a rash of COVID cases going through their team. And so match was postponed. They played it on a Tuesday night across the street from us here at the University of New Mexico Soccer Complex. It ended by a score of 7-0. New Mexico were victorious. It is the largest victory in club history. Bring that up because the Phoenix side that was rolled out that night, it looks an awful lot like what we're seeing here this evening with a lot of teenagers, academy players.
I think probably the difference is, though, New Mexico United still really trying to find their, I don't know if it's their identity, their groove, whatever it is, in an attacking sense. It's, you know, we mentioned that about Greg Hurst specifically, such a huge part of the attack, and only managed 2 goals so far this season. And you've seen some of the chances he's already created, been on the end of, I should say. You know, he's always busy, but they just haven't been going his way so far. Still being, you worry more when those chances dry up, and that's certainly not the case. But New Mexico United probably see this as an opportunity to potentially work on some of that attacking stuff and maybe try and gel a little bit. So then, you know, moving on into the rest of the season, it is a low percentage chance that they can make it through to the next round of the USL Cup. So, you know, can they use this as an opportunity to try and, like I say, get some chemistry? There was a lot of changes in the off-season. Lost some pieces. Akale, a big piece of the attacking output. You know, and try and find ways to improve, you know, going into the meat of the season.
Greg Hurst still looking for his first goal in USL Cup action as this ball comes in. Shakes, gets a hand to it, and that was a generous deflection, but Phoenix couldn't capitalize. That was a big chance.
And there it is. You know, we're talking about how, you know, such a young side, but clearly there's talent, and that's a very dangerous moment. Shakes just puts that ball back out into a dangerous area, and luckily for New Mexico United, Keller was there to sweep up the danger because Phoenix Rising players were arriving on scene as well to poke that home.
Jamison Ping was hanging around the Phoenix Rising Academy product. It's the second Academy product to sign a professional contract with the Phoenix first team. Second youngest player ever to debut for Phoenix. It's a nice touch on the outside there by Isaiah Ramirez. This is, for most teams, match day 3 of the USL Cup group stage. Got a lot of results for you coming in from across the country. Group 2 coming into tonight, it was Switchbacks sitting in first, El Paso second, Phoenix in third, New Mexico behind them in fourth, Orange County fifth, and Avialta rounds out the group in sixth. You got to feel for Avialta in terms of that group. That is a tough one, full of some real, perennial powerhouses in the USL Championship.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. And they're taking the brunt of it as well, obviously, and Orange County really struggled in this competition as well. Just surprising, because they've got off to a decent start in league play.
This is Jamison Ping, ready to send this corner in with the right foot. 18 years old is Ping. Malik Howell eventually clearing it away. Third time's the charm, Chris. The former University of New Mexico Lobo. Comes back to Potmar Boy. Dan Harris, 1 goal so far in the USL Cup. Did come against AV Alta. Looking to add to his total here this evening. Kip Keller finding his place back in the starting lineup after coming back from injury. In fact, he didn't play the first time these two teams met down at 38 in Washington back in April. You know, New Mexico very excited to have him back in the lineup. Big shoes to fill. Here's Reed Steven. Cross goes in, and Valentin Noel just could not connect with that one. But the chances starting to pile up now, Chris.
Yeah, and if you notice, Deon Harris and Reed Steven have switched sides, and now Reed Steven getting a chance to test that young right back cross. He's having a tough night of it so far. I imagine having those two players coming at you all game, and another dangerous ball in, and this time it was Valentin Noel who just couldn't quite get on the end of it. But all those crosses put in that corridor of uncertainty in between the defenders and goalkeeper. Goalkeeper doesn't want to commit. Defenders don't want to touch it in case they put it in their own net. And just attackers just love trying to fling themselves at those kind of chances.
And Phoenix this season, their road goals allowed typically tend to peak in the first 30 minutes, Chris. They've conceded 7 goals in the opening half hour. Offside flag.
New Mexico United fans, by now you should have heard about our Magic Minute. Our state was founded in 1912 and our soccer team kicked off for the first time in 2019. So the clock reads 19 minutes, 12 seconds. Get loud, get rowdy until 20 minutes, 19 seconds.
Comes back to Gaden. Biasi's just roaming around. Here comes Ping, finds Biasi, back to Ping. Nice little link-up play there in the midfield. Ramirez. Zaya Ramirez, 18 years old. He's made 4 appearances in championship play so far this season. Didn't quite track that ball down was Daniel Flores. Flores in on loan from Chivas Guadalajara. He's made 2 appearances for the Chivas first team in Liga MX. Bailey fouled that time. All the way back to Chris Shakes. Chris, this could be a good opportunity for New Mexico to get some wind behind their sails. We've got another home match coming up next weekend as they're back to USL Championship play. Is Orange County making the trip down? You mentioned Orange County not doing too hot in USL Cup play so far.
They're not doing too good in the Cup, but in the league, on the other hand, sitting pretty second place in the Western Conference. Had a really, really good start of the season. Only lost twice in league play, but 2 USL Cup games so far. They've lost both of those as well, so maybe that's a little sign of what Danny Stone and the Orange County staff are putting maybe a little more focus into the league perhaps. But yeah, I mean, saying this is an opportunity for New Mexico to think, but as you can see, we're almost 20 minutes in already, about to step into the 20th minute here, and this young Phoenix Rising's team are giving as good as they've got. I mean, New Mexico United have had more chances, but then there's that one chance that they created, and they've got a pretty strong core with the 2 centre mids in there. Biasi is holding it down, just locking it down in midfield as well. So they've got a pretty experienced core. It's a lot of the inexperienced younger players on the outside, and they are more than holding their own right now.
Usman Jabang able to get in front of that one. That was a timely interception. Phoenix were probing. New Mexico looking to counter. It's a foot race. Reed Steven taking on Potmar Boy. And that ball gets by Odunze. Greg Hurst keeps it in play. Defenders have recovered. Here's Noel. Hurst just looking for an opening. Eventually Rising able to clear the danger.
It's that left-hand channel again for New Mexico United, and the ball, it's almost like Greg Hurst saw Odunze flying out and kind of had to get out of the way for fear of potentially an injury or a big collision, but then did amazingly well to keep the ball in play.
Here's Gunnar looking to get by Kip Keller. He's double teamed and closed down immediately by Zico Bailey. Great defending there from the Philippines international.
I'll tell you what, he's an absolute unit. Studenhoff there, and like, not only, I mean, you know, from our vantage point, he looks definitely north of 6 foot, and he's built as well, and it took 2 New Mexico United defenders, and that's going to be his role tonight, is get the ball into his feet, and can he hold on to it long enough to get other Phoenix Rising players in the game as well.
Studenhoff listed at 6'3", looks every bit of that. As Ping once again gets ready to deliver from the corner. Right-footed delivery. Not a whole lot to do there for Chris Shakes. Jamison Ping, 74 minutes played in league play so far this season, over just a couple of appearances. Here's Ping. Looking to play it back and couldn't get there. That was Flores.
It's interesting, you know, we were kind of surprised when we heard that there was so many academy players, young players playing for Phoenix Rising tonight, but it's great to see a club like, you know, like Phoenix Rising, who, it's not just tonight, you're saying, you know, you're listing all these things where they're getting opportunities throughout the season. It's amazing to see a USL Championship team able to find moments to get these young players in, and something that New Mexico United have tried to do in the past. But if you look at New Mexico United's bench tonight, there's only one in there. It's Aaron Wentz, who is the goalkeeper, the backup goalkeeper tonight, and he was part of the USL Academy team, but so youthful. And again, because of the experience they've had previous in the season, maybe this isn't such a big step up. And again, go back to what I said a few moments ago, they're handling it really well right now.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And you look at that New Mexico bench, Chris, and there's another name that stands out, a former New Mexico United Academy alum, and that's Christian Nava, who scored his first professional goal against Phoenix Rising.
Was that in that game? That was in that game?
That was in the 7-0. That was in
yeah.
the 7-0, you're correct. "24 minutes gone by here in Albuquerque." Tyler Ortega alongside Chris Hurst. Thanks for joining us. 19th meeting all time between the Black and Yellow and Phoenix Rising. So far, it's been New Mexico with the lion's share of the chances. Looking to create another one here. Jabang links up with Dayon Harris. Dayon Harris just so explosive with that first step and almost lost himself. Gloucester working against 3 defenders. Goes out for a goal kick.
We had a great view down the line there, and I think Gloucester just managed to get that played off the Phoenix Rising defender there. So Phoenix got away with one there, but I mean, I think probably our vantage point was the only one that you could actually see that the assistant referee on this side would have to look through a goalpost. So unless he's Superman, I don't think that's possible. So yeah, I think we had the only angle on that.
Gloucester coming off 90 minutes last weekend out in Hartford. He was busy defensively, 7 clearances. Play on, says the official. Here comes Studenhoff. He only needs but an inch of space, and a great block there by Kip Keller.
Like we were saying before, 6'3", and he can move as well. He's got a turn of pace that is, you can see New Mexico United defenders backing off almost immediately. He has the New Mexico United back line, he has their attention already tonight.
Caused all sorts of problems for Sacramento Republic last weekend. He's somebody, like we said, just needs an inch of space. Generates some serious power with that right foot. He's also tidy in close spaces with the ball at his feet. He's a dangerous striker here for Phoenix. Here's Ping once again, delivering his 3rd corner here this evening. The teenager gives the signal. Dealt with by Kip Keller. Here's Reed Steven. Reed Steven dispossessed. Cross comes in from Ramirez, and once again, Kip Keller called on defensively.
This is a Topo Chico Hart-Seltzer corner kick.
Dennis Sanchez watches on. What do you think is going through his mind right now, Chris?
I mean, I'm sure the coaching staff were probably caught off guard a little bit as well by the lineup change. So, you know, there's been some adjustments on that. But New Mexico United started really well, asking all the questions, created some really good chances. But now Phoenix Rising have found a foothold in the game, and that's going to worry Coach Sanchez and the coaching staff, trying to find out how they get a grip of the ball and how they get a grip in this game and really, you know, make their experience tell.
The longer that this stays 0-0, I'm sure the more and more they're starting to ponder. Cross goes in. Corner goes in. Comes back to Jamison Ping. Here's Biasi. Space now for Gomez. Unleashes one. And Malik Howell on the receiving end of that shot. Big block there for the Jamaican, but he's certainly feeling it.
Yeah, he's trying to work out if he's still got air in his lungs, I think, right now. Gomez, absolutely. The game, it didn't even really open up for him in terms of a shooting lane. The ball kind of sat nice for him. He thought, why not? And just absolutely crushed it. Malik Howell there took the brunt of it.
Diego Gomez played under Pamodu Ka at North Texas SC in 2022. One of the few Phoenix players is that shot attempt. Goes wide. That was De La Cruz having a go. Well, Chris, this is typically a New Mexico side that dominates possession.
Yeah, I mean, we were just looking at the stats there in this little lull in the game, and Phoenix Rising are just, I mean, it's barely, but yeah, like you say, especially with the experience New Mexico United have on the pitch, you'd expect them to dominate the ball, and the eye test almost feels like they have, but Phoenix Rising have had more than 50%, barely, but more than 50%.
You don't typically see that from a visiting team here at the Lab. Luke Biasi, we mentioned he was a late add to the starting lineup. Well, he's been busy. A couple of tackles won so far, and you mentioned he's been flying around that midfield.
Oh, and he's just, I mean, you know, you said he was in that really stalwart defensive line last year, you know, over on the East Coast, but he's that experienced head in the middle, playing as the 6, just playing just in front of the back 4 and just kind of knitting things together, and he's been flying into tackles, connecting his passes, really, really busy and just disciplined as well. So allowing the other players, the other flair players, the younger players to kind of be busy all over the place and just holding his position. So, I mean, a great person to be able to pull from, even if it is last minute. I'm sure his pre-game was maybe not what it normally would be if if it was like an injury in the warm-up, perhaps.
Studenhoff. He's going to receive a talking to. Some late contact there on Chris Shakes, resulting in the goalkeeper going to ground. It's our official Brad Jensen just coming over to have a word with the Cayman Islands International. Gunnar Studenhoff, he's the first Caymanian ever picked in the MLS Super Draft, Chris.
What did you call him?
A Caymanian.
Is that actually?
That is legit.
No
promise.
way.
Yeah.
I thought you just made up a word.
I don't have the courage to do that on a platform like this, I'll tell you that. Here comes Reed Stephen. Eventually goes in, and Popmar Boy able to deflect that away from Odunze, but concedes the corner kick in the process. I believe this is the first corner of the evening for New Mexico.
It is, you're right, yeah, and you imagine that that's the route that New Mexico United are having the most joy in. You feel like that might be where they get the breakthrough, is through Deon Harris or Reed Stephen, those wide channels. That is exactly where they've been, kind of aiming a lot of their attacks in those wide channels against those outside backs of Phoenix Rising. And they've had the measure of them so far.
Corner kicks brought to you by Topo Chico Hard Seltzer. Hello, crisp, refreshing taste. Hello, Topo Chico Hard Seltzer. Reed Stephen delivers. Odunze snatches that right in front of the head of Kip Keller. Absolute bomb all the way to the other 18-yard box.
I was watching a game of Keeper Wars all of a sudden. And how about Shake's touch off the chest, just plucking it out of the air? But again, New Mexico United leaving just one-on-one at the back, just numbers matched up rather than the +1. And we've seen early on in this game how dangerous Studenhoff could be as well. So that could be something that may bite New Mexico later on.
And that's the risk you run when you get a guy like Kip Keller all the way up for a set piece. You're going to leave yourself exposed at the back like that. And
I mean, you always try and get your centre-backs up. They
sure.
tend to be the best aerial threat off corners, but, maybe a 6 like Zico Bailey or someone like that would normally slot back in, or Chris Costa.
Here comes New Mexico. Here's Jabang. Bailey. And they're just leaving Nico Hamalainen back there alongside Gunnar Studenhoff. Keller makes a mess of that one. Phoenix could be onto something, and Shakes has to come out and grab it. Here's Reed Stephen, cuts it back. Left-footed cross. Ramirez just runs out of real estate there, turns it over. But New Mexico give it right back. The foul called on Malik Howell.
TLC free kick.
TLC free kick coming up. Well, fans, you can turn to the CBS Sports Network on Wednesday, June 10th for a USL Eastern Conference Championship clash under the lights. Tampa Bay Rowdies defending their home turf against battle-tested Charleston Battery. Catch that one at 7 p.m. Eastern. All the action on the CBS Sports Network, June 10th. Chris, those are two sides that we just saw here at the lab. Over a span of 4 days, New Mexico splitting the results with the two Eastern Conference opponents. Tampa Bay Rowdies, they are on a tear right now. And after they beat New Mexico, they turned around, hosted Phoenix, beat them 3-0 as well.
Yeah, and then put 2 on Lou City as well without reply. That defense for Tampa Bay is absolutely on fire this year.
Greg Hurst flagged for offside. Well, 35 minutes gone by here in Albuquerque, and we are scoreless between New Mexico and Phoenix. And to be fair, it's usually close when these two get together. Over their last 8 meetings, Phoenix have scored 12 goals. New Mexico have scored 11. Here's Gunnar. Yassi flicks this ball out. Ramirez. Ping tries the cross, but it's partially deflected. Valentin Noel draws the foul there. Valentin Noel still looking for his first goal of this season, Chris.
Yeah, and you can see he's drifting all over the place tonight. Again, we've talked about this in a couple of home games recently as well, where he's having to drift around just to try and get involved in the game and get some attacking output, essentially, you know, feel involved in the game. And there, when you said drew the foul, is the right word for sure.
Jabang cross goes in. Here's Greg Hurst. And it's taken off his feet by Diego Gomez.
I think the chance for Greg Hurst there was on his left foot, but he chose instead to turn back onto his right foot, and Phoenix Rising able to just close the door there. But that was another opportunity, this right channel this time to the end line, getting that cross in, and there you see that chance was there, and even Deon Harris was there as well if you wanted to just play a little pass there, you know. But all that was to his right was defenders, and unfortunately that's where he turned into.
And just the 2 goals on the season for Greg Hurst. Both of them coming in one match. It was a brace against El Paso. Those goals coming just 10 minutes apart. And look, if Greg Hurst is going to score, it's usually going to be here at the Lab, Chris. 7 of his last 8 have come here in the Land of Enchantment.
Must like that home cooking, huh?
He must. He's one of just a few guys to have played on both sides of this rivalry. He and Santi Moa are the only two to have scored in both kits. Going all the way back to the 2022 season, Greg Hurst eliminated New Mexico from the U.S. Open Cup as a member of Phoenix Rising, and then 4 days later on the weekend, beat New Mexico in league play. It was a double out in Phoenix, Wednesday, Saturday, U.S. Open Cup league play. And he came over, switched his colors, Chris, and scored against Phoenix Rising the very next season. It's a great challenge there from Potmar Boy, asking for a handball. Ramirez, a teenager battling with the veteran Chris Gloucester. Jabang pulled to ground. Free kick here for New Mexico. Approaching the 40-minute mark, and this one, it's been fairly even so far.
It has, the way the game started, you would have put a decent chunk of change on New Mexico United finding a breakthrough early on. They were throwing the kitchen sink at it, but Phoenix Rising hung in there, and they've really got a foothold in the game. And centre forward Studenhoff there is causing all kinds of issues now that Phoenix Rising have found a way to get him in the game as well.
Well, looking to spray this one out to Reed Steven instead. It was a great defensive play by Flores. This through ball goes all the way to Odunze. Shakes comes out, and looks like he and Studenhoff just slightly avoided a big collision there. Here comes Reed Steven. New Mexico looking for the opener. Zico Bailey. Shot deflected. Harris, and he's flagged for offside. Here's Studenhoff. And eventually, the whistle is blown.
That's an interesting one. You very rarely see those given against attacking players. I think both Keller and Studenhoff there were both at it, like grabbing, you know, but yeah, it's very rare. And he's doing such a good job just holding the ball up, just buying some time because it was just pinged up to him. Once again, New Mexico United left him 1v1, and this time it was with Kip Keller.
Here's Harris. His cross cut out by the captain, Popmar Boy.
All right, fans, get loud for a Topo Chico Hard Seltzer corner kick.
Topo Chico Hard Seltzer corner kick. New Mexico still searching for an opener. Harris delivers. Punched out by Odunze. Deon Harris scored the last time New Mexico played here at home in USL Cup play. It was against AV Alta back on April 25th. Harris, 3 goals, 3 assists in his previous 6 matches here at the Lab. Just couldn't quite connect with Greg Hurst that time.
And you can see it's just not clicking there. This time it was Hurst and Noel both making exactly the same run, almost stride for stride. You need those counter movements, you know, a bit bigger target area for these players on the ball to maybe hit. So it's just not quite clicking for New Mexico in the final third.
Fans, it's time with the Flix Brewhouse Lucky Row giveaway. Tonight's Lucky Row is section 112, row L. Everyone in section 112, row L just scored a free movie ticket to Flix Brewhouse, New Mexico Cinema Brewery. Please visit the C&M Guest Services booth on the concourse to receive your free
Chris Shakes looking to continue his fine run of form. Chris coming off back-to-back clean sheets. Here's Biasi still weaving his way through the black and yellow. Ping now. Haven't said his name in quite a while. It seemed like he was on the ball every few seconds to start the match. Here's Harris. Dayon Harris scored against Phoenix Rising. It was his first goal for New Mexico, actually. It was early last season before he suffered the torn ACL. Early 2 seasons ago, my apologies. Well, Chris, there hasn't been very many breaks here in this first half. We're hearing that there's not going to be any stoppage time. New Mexico seemingly caught wind of that. Time for one last chance. Cuts it across. Reed Stephen into an open net. And New Mexico open up the scoring right before the stroke of halftime. And it's Niall Reed Stephen hitting the scuba.
Listen to that roar as well. It's kind of so engrossed in the game, you forgot how many people were actually in the building here. And I think if it's New Mexico United, you think, finally, they've asked so many questions of Phoenix Rising, and Phoenix Rising have had the answer. This time, New Mexico United streamed forward. They had 4, 5, 6 guys in the Phoenix Rising area. 3 guys had a bid on the cross, and it just pops all the way out to Reed Stephen. He takes a great shot. His first time finish as well. You can see there's 1, 2. There's a third player as well, and there was Reed Stephen able to just take the shot first time with his left foot, but so many options for Dayon Harris to aim for. The Phoenix Rising just caught the wrong side of the ball, and yeah, what a great finish, and great time to score it as well, right before halftime.
That is the 4th goal in all competitions for Niall Reed Stephen, and he is your New Mexico leading scorer.
That all started from Keller just driving out from centre-back, and don't forget he was the game-winning goal, Keller, the last time here at the lab as well, so finding some attacking output from the centre-backs, no less.
Phoenix looking to answer quickly before the stroke of halftime, but they'll only get one kick. Brad Jensen blows his whistle, and the first half comes to an end. And as you mentioned, a timely opener for the Barbados international, Niall Reed Stephen.
Yeah, I think that probably changes the halftime team talk. It was probably going to be one of a lot of frustration. Still lots of things to fix for New Mexico United, and Phoenix Rising will feel like they should be going in at halftime level as well. So both team talks probably changed a lot in the last 30 seconds there.
Well, Chris Shakes heads to the locker room. They're posting his 5th consecutive half without allowing a goal. He'll look to build on that. So Dunze got to feel a little hard done by that one. He and his squad played so tough through 45 minutes. And Niall Reed Stephen breaks through. We'll step aside here at the
Game on at New Mexico's ultimate game day destination, Sandia Sportsbook. With live wagering 7 days a week, Albuquerque's best sportsbook is ready for action. Bet at Sandia Sportsbook or at kiosk locations on the casino floor. Sandia Sportsbook offers amazing food and drink specials with spectacular views. Sports betting has come to Sandia. Sandia Sportsbook.
As a kid, I always picked the first tomato of the season. Even if it was small, we would split it 5 ways. Tomatoes, sunflower petals, chili, stone fruit, amaranth, Pignon. Every month the ingredients change and the menu changes too. So every bite is a reflection of New Mexico.
Welcome back here to a beautiful evening in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Tyler Ortega alongside Chris Hurst. It is halftime here in the Prinx Tires USL Cup group stage play. The black and yellow leading Phoenix Rising at the break 1-0. And yes, it is.
Prinx tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines, from early mornings to late nights, from fun with friends to winner takes all, from the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinx tires will be there for the long haul.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
Today, we accomplished nothing. I mean it, not a thing. And it was kinda everything.
This summer, get 1,000 bonus points and a chance to win 250,000 bonus points.
This week on USL All Access, the 19-year-old Goalkeeper for Charleston Battery, Colton Swan, joins the show.
Just one of 3 players called outside of the MLS pyramid, only 2 from USL Championship play. Why has his star been on the rise recently for the Charleston Battery? And what's next for the U.S. Youth National Team player? Prinx Tires Cup. Back this weekend, what group do you have to keep an eye on?
It is halftime in the Prinx Tires USL Cup. The drama is building in all groups. I'm Dan Lucas inside the USL studio with a look at some of the headlines from League One and the championship. The lone unbeaten club in both leagues is putting up dominant numbers in a 2026 turnaround. The Tampa Bay Rowdies have scored first in all 13 of their matches in all competitions this year. But if you break it down to just 11 games in the championship, the Rowdies have outshot their opponents 50-28 so far. Congratulations to Greenville Triumph for opening the latest of the new stadiums in League One. The Triumph began play in GE Vernova Park with a win over Forward Madison. League One now boasts 3 brand new stadiums in 2026. Young players are starting to earn more and more playing time in League One and the USL Championship. How about Santiago Higuereta from AV Alta? He scored his first professional goal in Week 12. At age 17 years, 249 days old, Higuereta is the youngest goal scorer in AV Alta history, and he beats out Vigo Ortiz of Charlotte Independence by 43 days for the League One youngest player to score this season. Upcoming national spotlight games next Wednesday, the Rowdies and Charleston Battery, Forward Madison and Fort Wayne on the 17th, and Las Vegas and Orange County on the CBS Sports Network. This is the USL Halftime Update. Let's get you back out to your match.
Welcome back here to the lab in Albuquerque. It is halftime. New Mexico on top of Phoenix, rising 1-0. Let's take a look at how we got to this.
In the land of enchantment, every move counts. That's why you need New Mexico Orthopedics to get you back doing the things you love. The official orthopedic surgeons of New Mexico United. Somos Unidos.
join the New Mexico State Police, you're stepping into more than a patrol car. You're stepping into possibility. From tactical missions to underwater recoveries, from negotiating under pressure and mastering the skies with cutting-edge drone technology, our specialized teams go beyond the ordinary. If you're looking for a challenge, teamwork, and the chance to be part of something bigger, your path starts here. Join the legacy. Join New Mexico State Police.
Game on at New Mexico's ultimate game day destination, Sandia Sportsbook. With live wagering 7 days a week, Albuquerque's best sportsbook is ready for action. Bet at Sandia Sportsbook or at kiosk locations on the casino floor. Sandia Sportsbook offers amazing food and drink specials with spectacular views. Sports betting has come to Sandia. Sandia Sportsbook.
In the land of enchantment, every move counts. That's why you need New Mexico Orthopedics to get you back doing the things you love. The official orthopedic surgeons of New Mexico United. Somos Unidos.
Well, it is a packed house here at the lab tonight in Albuquerque, and the fans getting a classic here between New Mexico United and Phoenix Rising. Thanks for joining us this evening, whether you're watching on ESPN Plus around the state of New Mexico on New Mexico 50, or if you're joining us out in the valley on AZ Family Sports in Phoenix. Welcome in. It is a beautiful evening here in Albuquerque, and we've got the second 45 coming your way here in just a moment between New Mexico United and Phoenix Rising FC. Chris, this is the 19th meeting all time between these two clubs. Familiar opponents, to say the least.
Yeah, and a lot of that, you know, it's the same with like El Paso, but a lot of that and switchbacks are included in that group too. The groups during those that COVID season, right, where played each other, it seemed like almost every week, trying to, you know, where the league did a really good job of just kind of regionalising everyone even more so than normal. And yeah, and there's been some absolute battles between the two teams and the two clubs, and you know, I think it's safe to say the players understand the needle between the two, and the fans certainly don't necessarily care for each other either.
And New Mexico looking to flip the script from what happened about 2 months ago out at 38th in Washington. It was a 3-0 victory for Phoenix Rising, and you know, the makeup of this match, it's just fundamentally different, right? Being here at the lab, it just changes things.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, especially, you know, once you get the crowd involved as well, you know, and it's absolutely packed. And I said it right before halftime, didn't notice really until the goal went in, and the roar, the cheer was the loudest I've heard in a long time. And then I actually glanced around, like, oh wow, it's packed in here. It really is busy, and all the stands are really filled in nicely tonight.
So Brad Jensen, our center official tonight, thought he did a good job in the first half, just controlling things here. We didn't see any sort of over physical moments, you know, stuff that we typically see when these two teams get together.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, and you always say the best, you know, one of the sayings is that the best referee performances are the ones where you don't really notice them, and I'd say that's absolutely the case tonight. He's just kind of allowed the game to flow. There was a couple of advantages that he allowed to play on as well, and you know, there haven't been those meaty challenges that maybe we've become accustomed to, and maybe that's partly because of the makeup of the Phoenix Rising team. It is very, very young, and maybe that's kind of calmed things down a little bit, perhaps.
Yeah, and look, and if you're New Mexico, they haven't forgotten that 3-0 loss that happened out in Arizona a couple months ago. And look, rivalry games, they're remembered, right? But lopsided rivalry games, they're remembered even more. And I think New Mexico, they realize the opportunity that they have to respond here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, and you know, and that's it's respond from that, specifically Phoenix Rising, but the last game as well in the USL Cup, where I mean, it just let's say it just wasn't good enough, right? And I think the coaching staff came out and said that as well, that 4-0 defeat to Colorado Switchbacks hurt them a lot, and I think that shows in this team that Coach Sanchez has put out tonight, the full strength team, that he wants to kind of rectify that result as well.
Sanchez, his record, especially this year in derby games, is something that he's going to look to turn around. New Mexico, they've been defeated pretty handily by El Paso in the U.S. Open Cup. I mentioned they got thumped out at Widener Field by Switchbacks. We mentioned the 3-0 loss to Phoenix Rising earlier this season. Well, they got their revenge on El Paso in league play. Looking to do the same here with Phoenix tonight. And player down, it looks like that might be Deion Harris. Harris just getting some attention here. Well, fans, Prinx Tires is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the Prinx Tires USL Cup. Built for practical performance and the long haul, Prinx Tires delivers reliability for everyday drivers like you. Visit PrinxTiresUSA.com to learn more. And fans, we want to let you know that you can enter the Prinx Tires USL Cup Game Day Kit Sweepstakes for your chance to win a prize pack worth up to $2,000. Make sure you enter today. Scan that QR code right there on the screen. I've already got my entry, Chris. Can I use your phone? I'll get a second entry. Looks like we did have one change at the break for Rising. So we actually had two changes. Colin Smith and Gilberto Rivera both in for Phoenix Rising. Those substitutions brought to you by Chiba Hut, toasted subs and sandwiches. Well, here comes the goal scorer, Niall Reed-Steven. Malik Howell now. Steven trying to run onto this ball, just can't track it down before it goes out of play. TLC free kick coming up here. So a couple of the changes that came on for Pamodu Ka. You had Colin Smith, the 21-year-old out of Jacksonville, Florida, played under Pamodu Ka at North Texas SC in 2022. You mentioned Diego Gomez also did on Hope Avayevu as well. Those three guys, you can say they've earned the trust of their head coach. There's Biasi. Bean goes all the way back to the captain. It's Potmar Boyd. Potmar boy making his third appearance in the USL Cup play so far. Zico Bailey dispossessed. Rivera has a shot. And that ball just goes wide of the goal of Chris Shakes.
Yeah, looks like the changes for Phoenix Rising. They got Rivera in the middle there and just adding a little bit more legs. You can see his first involvement there. Decent shot, and Shakes, I think, was kind of wrong-footed. If that had snuck just just inside the post, then I'm not sure Shakes could have got there.
Gilberto Rivera signed on loan just last month. He was selected by Houston Dynamo in the 2026 MLS Super Draft. It was an all-WAC first-team selection at San Jose State. Made his Phoenix debut on May 9th, just one day after coming over on loan. Well, fans, we want to let you know that you can watch the USL Championship in Spanish on TUDN, the nation's leading Spanish language sports network. Go to uslchampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. Noel running onto this one. New Mexico looking for a second. And it does go in. And it's Ousmane Dieng at the doorstep. New Mexico have doubled their lead. Hard to tell whether Dieng got a touch to it or not. One thing is for certain, New Mexico 2, Phoenix 0.
I mean, it all started with a great run from Valentin Noel from deep. Ran a full 50, 60 yards to get on the end of it. And instead of being greedy, I think he could have took the shot on himself. Looks to try and pick out Jaban, and then it just becomes who wants it more. He gets a touch on it, and then Gunse and I think that was the defender Smith there. Biasi just gets right on the end as well, but then you can see Jaban just wants it enough where goes in, just gets a touch, flies into that last tackle as well, just to make sure that the ball finds its way into the back of the net.
And Dieng does end up getting the final touch on that ball. And so for Ousmane Dieng, that is his 5th goal for New Mexico in all competitions since joining the club last season. And Chris, that now marks 4 of his 5 goals scored at home. That is a big one for New Mexico. And that really could be what the black and yellow needed, just to settle things down a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, getting a goal in that first 10 minutes there after halftime, then it just kind of nullifies anything that the Phoenix Rising coaching staff, obviously they'd already made a couple of changes to try and get back in the game, and kind of nullifies what's said and just allows New Mexico United to take a breath, get that second goal, create that separation, and now see if they can go on and maybe get the 3rd and 4th as well.
That goal brought to you by Vara Winery and Distillery. First of the USL Cup for Ousmane Dieng. It's his 3rd in all competitions this season. Here's Harris as New Mexico look for a 3rd. Harris was looking for a foul, didn't get it. This ball falls generously to him. Harris's cross is blocked, but it's out for a Topo Chico hard seltzer corner kick.
Yeah, but Deion Harris, while he was peeling himself off the ground looking for a free kick, the ball, like you said, falls generously to him. But he just couldn't quite get the ball under control. And that allowed Smith to recover and get a decent challenge on him, but give away the corner.
Brad Jensen just having a word with Luke Biasi. It's another Topo Chico hard seltzer corner kick. Hello, crisp, refreshing taste. Hello, Topo Chico hard seltzer. New Mexico looking to say hello to a third goal. Now, a little bit of extracurriculars taking place in the box, and it looks like Kip Keller getting involved. I think that might be Colin Smith that he's just doing a little bit of hand fighting with. Colin Smith, the halftime substitute. He was an FC Dallas homegrown signing, made his professional debut at 17 with North Texas under Pa Modou Kah. Here comes the corner kick. Harris was looking near post that time. Ping goes down. This could be trouble. Studenhoff. Reed Steven tracks all the way back defensively, and Studenhoff just loses his footing. A bit unlucky there for the big man.
Yeah, really unlucky, but I tell you what, I've really enjoyed watching him play tonight, and I love the fact there that he clearly just lost his footing and didn't try and make more of it, didn't try and buy a free kick from the referee, just got on with it. Really do have enjoyed watching him play today. Physical, athletic, great first touch for a big man as well. It's been really fun to watch him play.
Offside flag is up there on Deion Harris, as he thought he was going to sneak in behind that Phoenix Rising back line. Here's Ramirez, the teenager. See Biasi have a slip there as well. He's the halftime substitute, Gilberto Rivera. Former Penn State Nittany Lion Chris Shakes just eating every second he possibly can. As his side sit comfortably with a 2-0 lead. And how about this ball looking to find Greg Hurst, and Odunze well out of his 18-yard box to clear that ball away.
Yeah, Odunze, a lot like what we saw Chris Shakes in the first half, playing like a sweeper keeper there. Great starting position, read that ball really well. Sharp off his line to deal with the danger.
Odunze, he's been kept on his toes for most of the evening. The field really tilted in New Mexico's favor throughout the opening 10-15 minutes. Had several chances. Odunze earning his paycheck tonight. An errant pass there from Zico Bailey. That's rather uncharacteristic there from the midfielder.
Yeah, maybe it's a case there. New Mexico United obviously just lapse, I should say, in concentration, and maybe being a little too comfortable in possession. And that's what happens when you're comfortable playing in and around your own 18-yard box.
Corner goes in, and it's headed away by Malik Howell. Hearing of a couple of changes coming up here for Phoenix Rising. Smith was one of the second half changes as Pamodu Ka starts to rotate some of his usual first teamers onto the pitch here in the second half. Long throw here. It's Keller climbing the ladder. There's Smith again. Able to get by Jabang. Cross goes in. Rivera now. Another cross. Shakes. Reaches up to pluck that ball out of the sky. Just under half an hour plus stoppage time remaining. Greg Hurst taken out in the center circle. Draws the foul, and Luke Biasi looked like a couple of words as he walked away as Pamodu Ka giving some instructions to his substitutes who are coming on. We're about to see Jean-Éric Moursu come on alongside Isan Sako. Isan Sako, he's accounted for 8 of Phoenix Rising's 13 goals as the offside flag is up. So he is a danger man. He's about to enter for the visitors.
Sako scored 2 in his last time out against Sacramento Republic as well, so man who's very much on form.
Sako scored 2 in his last time out against New Mexico as well.
Uh-oh.
Sako converted from the penalty spot twice against Sacramento last weekend. That chance went begging there for Niall Reed-Stephen. And that might just be his last action of the night, as we're going to see multiple substitutions here for both sides. So it looks to be the end of the night for Gunnar Studenhof. And Chris, he put in quite a shift tonight.
Yeah, like I said, really enjoyed watching him play. I like the way he plays as well, and just no nonsense as well. Like I say, not trying to con the referee into decisions or anything like that. Just enjoys almost the physical side of the game as well, you know, and I love watching forwards like that.
Potmar Boy also makes way. He's replaced by Moursu. '65th minute here at the Lab. Thank you for joining us for the 19th meeting all time between New Mexico United and Phoenix Rising. Tyler Ortega here alongside Chris Hurst. A gorgeous evening here at the Lab in Albuquerque. This is Prinx Tires USL Cup. Second year of the competition. Another opportunity for silverware for both of these clubs. New Mexico still searching for their first piece of silverware in club history. Hurst thought he had something there. Instead, it's Ping running back around with it. Ping showing off the sweet feet there against Greg Hurst. Ramirez just couldn't corral that ball with Gloucester on his back. Now we're going to see a trio of changes here for New Mexico. Coming on for the black and yellow, Gideon Zalalem, Christian Nava, and Cam Wilkerson.
Number 27, Malik Howell. And also taking in number 11,
Christian Nava, we mentioned, he was on the score sheet in that 7-0 victory for New Mexico all those years ago. In fact, it was his first ever professional goal that night. A native Albuquerquean, came up through the New Mexico United Academy, was the first player to complete the pathway from academy to the first team. In his debut here at the Lab against Colorado Springs Switchbacks. Bailey a little slow to get up. Something to keep an eye on here.
See BRC now with the changes for Phoenix Rising. He's now slipped out to this right back position. Smith has moved into centre back. Taking Pat My Boy's position in there. So a big reshuffle for Phoenix Rising. Now, Rivera and in the middle there. So, Phoenix Rising really trying to get back in this game. Obviously, with the attacking talent of Sacco on the field as well. I feel like the next goal could be really crucial, though.
Yeah, exactly. And Phoenix looking to snap this clean sheet here for Chris Shakes. Shakes looking for his third consecutive. He just overshoots Christian Nava that time. Yeah, you're 100% right. The next goal is really going to change the complexion of this game. Obviously, if it's New Mexico, it's the insurance goal. You can breathe a little easier. If it's Phoenix, 2 words: game on.
Absolutely, and it's that old cliche, and it's a cliche for a reason, right? The 2-0 lead is the hardest one to defend, and Phoenix Rising certainly on paper, with the squad that they have, is finishing the game with a lot more of their horses on the field.
Zalalem passes back. Minutes plus stoppage time remain. Great link-up play there by New Mexico, and good defending from Gaydon. Nava able to keep this ball in play. Christian Nava cross. Nava still, and it's tapped in, and it's Valentin Noel. It's his first goal of the season, and he makes it 3-0. New Mexico on top of Phoenix.
Noel giving Christian Nava a tap on the head there, and rightly so. Well, Noel gets the plaudits for putting the finishing touch on it. That goal is all about the work rate and desire of Christian Nava. He just ran 75 yards, I think, sprinting, and completely caught Phoenix Rising defender off guard there. Managed to keep it in play, put a dangerous ball in the box, cause confusion, all through just determination and work rate.
What a huge goal that is for the Frenchman, Valentin Noel. He was such an important piece brought in for Dennis Sanchez last season. He was a guy that was brought in for goal contributions, scoring and assisting. Hasn't done a whole lot of either this season. Maybe that's the one that gets him going.
Yeah, and you can just see in that replay there that he just keeps himself moving. He's always trying to think, where is the ball going to pop out? And never stands still, just always adjusting his position based on what Nava was doing there. And you know, if you keep getting yourself in the right places, the ball will find you eventually. Also, there's that insurance goal that we talked about for New Mexico United. Now it's a little bit of breathing room, and Phoenix Rising have got a mountain to climb now.
For Valentin Noel, that is his 5th goal in all competitions for New Mexico since joining the club last July. He was a mid-season addition. He's a Dennis Sanchez guy. He played for him in MLS Next Pro at Austin FC 2 a few years ago. Played under him at Las Vegas Lights prior to both of them coming out here to New Mexico. Morsu. Sacco sees that ball just go off his toes.
Keller and Sacco just had a little, I don't know what, I don't even know how to describe it, but Keller was trying to stop Sacco from taking a quick throw in, so kind of got in his face and did a little dance. I'm going to call it a little dance.
Sure.
And then as soon as he turned around, Sacco threw the ball off his back to get the ball back in play. It's, yeah, unbelievable.
That looked like something you typically see on a basketball court. Guy guarding the inbounder.
I prefer my description.
Free kick here for New Mexico. 74th minute. 3-0 lead for the black and yellow. Mexico looking for more is Valentin Noel looking to find one of the runners in behind the Phoenix back line. Well, fans, we want to let you know that Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the grassroots to the pros, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Wilkerson did his best, couldn't keep the ball in play that time. We've got another change coming up here for Pamodu Ka. It is Damian Rivera, as he's on to replace Noah Cross. Substitutions brought to you by Chiba Hut, toasted subs and sandwiches. And that is the end of the night for the 17-year-old Noah Cross.
Playing right back in the first half and had a tough time. Both Harris and Reed Stephen were definitely in the mood, and with the young lad, all he could deal with. But to be fair, kept going and held his own, absolutely, you know. And I think he'll definitely know he's been in a game when he wakes up tomorrow morning.
Deon Harris, he was fouled outside of the box. We're going to see our first yellow card 76 minutes in. And I believe it was shown to Colin Smith. Just had a little bit of a nibble as Deon Harris was making that run into the box.
He had a few. There was the last one was actually inside the box, but the referee did the right thing and brought it back to the very first foul, which was about 8 to 10 yards outside of the 18-yard box.
Yellow Cards brought to you by Ferguson Law Firm. When you've been fouled, call Ferguson Law Firm, New Mexico's leading personal injury attorneys for over 40 years. Well, New Mexico with another set-piece opportunity here. Really two options for Greg Hurst. Go for goal or put it there just ahead of Odunze. Hurst. Well, he does neither.
Yeah, it does seem that maybe Hurst was kind of caught in two minds there. Did he want to shoot? Did he want to cross? And like you said, he managed to do neither there, because if you're putting a cross in from that position, you want it about head height, but drilled in with a ton of pace. Anyone attacking it, all they have to do is just redirect it. They don't want or need to generate any power themselves. So yeah, he just kind of got caught in between two minds, and the other one was obviously trying to decide if he was going to try and go for the top corner.
Goes all the way back to Odunze. 78th minute, 3-0. New Mexico on top of Phoenix Rising. Keller tracks this ball down, goes back to Shakes. Zalalem just settles things down. Gideon Zalalem, the former Arsenal man, made his first team debut under Arsene Wenger. Valentin Noel chases this ball down. Able to keep it in play. And the Frenchman able to win the throw-in. For a moment, we thought that might be the end of Valentin Noel's night, but it actually sounds like Greg Hurst's night is going to be coming to a close. Wilkerson called for the foul that time. Just under 10 minutes plus stoppage time remaining. New Mexico looking to pick up their 7th win all time against Phoenix Rising. as Justin Renix will come on to replace Greg Hurst. Renix already with the goal in USL Cup play. That came just about a month and a half ago against AV Alta right here at the lab. Renix with a couple of goals in all competitions this season for New Mexico. Also scored at the Coliseum in Oakland in league play. Here's Rivera. Finds Ping. Phoenix looking to at least find one goal here this evening, and that save made by Chris Shakes.
Good concentration there by Shakes. He hasn't been asked to do much, hasn't been called upon much, especially since half-time. Probably a little busier in the first half. But there, shot came through a lot of bodies, had to keep his eye on it, and pushed it away from danger, unlike the opportunity in the first half where it was pushed straight back out into the 6-yard box, pushed it away from danger and had time to dust himself down, stand up and collect the rebound himself.
Wilkerson called for the foul that time. It was Damian Rivera. Just moments before that, nutmeg the defender as well. He has been causing some problems here over the last few minutes. Well, set piece here for Phoenix Rising. Looking to pull one back late. Ping delivers. And that goes through everybody. That was dangerous. They're saying it took a deflection off a New Mexico United player, and so a corner kick coming up here for Rising.
And that deflection probably took it off Smith's head as well. He was flying in at the back post. Just couldn't reach it after that deflection on the way through.
Ping delivers the corner. And Gloucester just gets a touch on it. Talk about players that are going to feel it tomorrow morning. This is one of them, Jamison Ping. Feels like he's taken at least 10 set pieces so far here tonight. I'd also be willing to wager he's got close to the most touches for Phoenix Rising as well. He's been on the ball a lot.
Yeah, I was just thinking, I was watching him off the ball before, and he's kind of such a young player again, gesticulating and pointing and telling other players where they should go and where the ball should go. And yeah, he's like not short on confidence and not afraid to tell more senior players, you know what's going on.
Here comes Deon Harris. New Mexico looking for the nail in the coffin, and Deon Harris finds the back of the net. It's 4-0, New Mexico on top of Phoenix Rising.
Hopefully Odunse is okay after this. It was a bit of a heavy collision, but another goal that maybe not the prettiest goal in the world. There's been 3 of them tonight in New Mexico where it's been about desire, and there Harris following up his own shot, collecting his own rebound, going back to another basketball analogy like what you said earlier on, and just ran through Odunse to poke the ball into the empty net.
That goal brought to you by Vara Winery and Distillery. And for Deon Harris, that's his second in the USL Cup so far this season. And that is his 3rd goal in all competitions.
Substitution by the Chief Sons. Entering the match for New Mexico United, 24, Tyler Blackett.
One more change coming up here for Dennis Sanchez, and it's defensive reinforcements. Tyler Blackett on to replace Valentin Noel. The second appearance of the season for Tyler Blackett. Blackett, a former Manchester United man. Phoenix still battling here late. 87 minutes in, down 4-0 on the road. Last time New Mexico won 4-0 here at home, it was last season, September 10th, when they beat Detroit City 4-0. It was Zalalem who came in late that time. And you talk about some players with pedigree. Gideon Zalalem, Tyler Blackett, with Arsenal and Manchester United on their resumes respectively. We knew it was going to be a great crowd tonight. Rivalry, pride on the pitch night. 9,389 in attendance here at the Lab. Attendance is brought to you by New Mexico Mutual. And if this result holds here for New Mexico, this will be their second largest victory over Phoenix Rising. Second only to that 7-0 win a few seasons ago that we referenced earlier. Well, while we wait for this corner to be delivered, we'd like to let you know that soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. Zalalem plays this cross in, was looking for Kip Keller at the back post. Into the 89th minute. Make sure you get on SeatGeek and get your New Mexico United tickets. SeatGeek also the official ticketing provider of the black and yellow. Shakes out of his box to deal with the danger that time. Renix draws the foul.
Yeah, Renix did a really good job there. He knew he was going to get clattered as well. He almost saw where the defender was coming from and stepped across and just protected the ball and forced the defender to make the decision to run straight through the back of him.
Hit forward. Ramirez chases it down. He's put in quite the shift here this evening, the teenager. Here's Damian Rivera. Finds Gilberto Rivera. And that shot just goes wide, but Chris Shakes is keeping an eye on that one. Into stoppage time we go. 4 minutes added on here at the end of the second half. Stoppage time brought to you by New Mexico Pinon Coffee, the taste of enchantment. Chris, I know you're from across the pond, so you're probably a tea guy more than a coffee guy, but allow me to make a recommendation. The lavender latte from New Mexico Pinon Coffee is absolute fire, as the kids like to say.
I'm definitely a coffee guy.
All right.
I used to be a tea guy, but, you know, America changes people.
He's coming around. Time winding down in this one here as New Mexico looking to pick up their 5th win at home this season in all competitions. Looking to improve to a perfect 2-0 at home here in USL Cup play. Sacco was boxed in there, eventually dispossessed. Here's Nava. Nava goes down and he's fouled. Hamalainen. Haven't said his name a whole lot here this evening. This ball turned over. Here's Wilkerson. Gloucester goes back to Hamalainen. Zalalem now. Bailey, he can hit him from here. Instead, it was looking to connect with Justin Renix. Bailey again finds Renix this time. Renix into the middle, and it's Gloucester putting it over the bar. Him and Kip Keller just looking at each other in disbelief.
The two defenders almost got in each other's way, and maybe the nosebleed from being so far up there. And it's Keller again. He's turned into this attacking force over the last couple of weeks, just meandering from the back.
When you score one goal, you want to score more, right, Chris?
Absolutely. I don't think meandering was the right word. More marauding from the back, right?
He was up there with a purpose. Blackett steps up to intercept this ball. Gloucester. Odunze comes out to grab that ball. And that's the full-time whistle at the lab. New Mexico gets payback on Phoenix Rising. 4-0 victory at home in front of the black and yellow faithful. Chris, your thoughts on tonight's match?
Yeah, I think it was exactly what the doctor ordered as far as New Mexico United are concerned. 4 goals at home in front of a bumper crowd. Everyone leaves happy.
Valentin Noel walks away with your man of the match honors tonight. 1 goal, 1 assist. Man of the match brought to you by Pepsi. Niall Reed-Steven is your play of the match winner. Play of the match brought to you by Vara Winery and Distillery for his opening goal scored in the 45th minute. And your defensive player of the match, Chris Shakes, with his 3rd consecutive clean sheet.
I think there's been some question about who's New Mexico United's number 1, and right now Chris Shakes is making that jersey his own.
Big result for the black and yellow tonight. They'll be celebrating in Albuquerque. We'll step aside. We'll be back to wrap things up.
destination, Sandia Sportsbook. With live wagering 7 days a week, Albuquerque's best sportsbook is ready for action. Bet at Sandia Sportsbook or at kiosk locations on the casino floor. Sandia Sportsbook offers amazing food and drink specials with spectacular views. Sports betting has come to Sandia. Sandia Sportsbook.
Full time here at the Lab, and they'll be celebrating this one here in Albuquerque well into the night. A massive victory for New Mexico United over rivals Phoenix Rising here in Prinx Tires USL Cup play by a score of 4-0. Let's take a look.